Welcome to Absolutely Marvel and DC. My name is Benny, and that is, you know what, you can be Dylan this week. Because I didn't prepare a name.
Fair enough.
Today we're going to talk about Flash, Season 7, Episode 15?
15, yep.
15. Initial opening thoughts, I thought it started weird, and I was ready for the cringe, only to have this be one of my favorite episodes of the season so far.
Yeah, which isn't saying much, because it wasn't a great episode. No. But it was definitely one of the better ones that we've had this season. Which also, wow, we're 15 episodes deep, and we're just now sort of getting to the Impulse and Nora stuff. After what, like 2 or 3 weeks of
hype and
filler?
Leaks.
Yeah, and leaks for sure.
So first thing that made this episode amazing, the Flash was in his show.
The Flash, he's here.
And he was the primary character for a show. I was ready for the cringe when it opened up with the Flash is sensing that Iris is pregnant and trying to get the pregnancy test. I was like, when did the Flash become a sitcom? Because that's what that felt like to me. Everyone's interrupting him. He doesn't want to tell them what's going on. He's just kind of, you know.
I hate to break it to you, but The Flash has been a sitcom since season 1.
Okay, but it got very sitcom-y with this one, didn't it?
Sure. I mean, this whole season especially has been...
the moment he was like, I have to drive the car to do the test results, I was like, oh no, we're going to
I'm surprised we didn't see him in the car, catching like red lights and being like, oh no!
I was a little excited at first that we were going to see Barry Allen drive a car. For minutes, just a couple minutes, just like, oh, what? This is so slow. Oh, red lights. Oh no. But we didn't get that. The Cecile being a primary character in the episode was she was interesting, although she wasn't reading his mind and then did read his mind, and I was just kind of like, why didn't she just know from the beginning? Why did she not read the right thought until later? Like, because
also like her powers, they don't really have set rules to, and she just I'm getting kind of annoyed with her just like reading everyone's emotions and mind without their permission. Like, it's not your business, Cecile.
It reminds me of when Jean Grey, like the infamous outing of Bobby Drake, just like, what were you doing in my mind to begin with? And Cecile's just like, oh, I don't even talk to people anymore. Like,
right. I just read everyone's thoughts because that's my prerogative. I don't know. It's fine. Like maybe there was some understanding where she's allowed to read everyone's minds just in case that they're like evil now or whatever.
I mean, everyone does become evil on that show.
That's true, including her, as a couple weeks ago. But I don't know. This episode, more so than any other so far, like out of the ones past, like the Force Storm stuff, has reminded me how many plots there are, and how I don't care about pretty much any of them.
Speaking of that, we had the Killer Frost and the bartender. I don't even know his name. I'm going to call him Bartender till he gets off the show.
His name is Mark, I believe.
Oh, so very generic. That makes it even easier for me.
Just another character that I believe they just made up for no reason.
No, you know what? And I'm going to say this right now because I gotta make a comment on our last week's episode because it's going to relate to exactly what you're saying about Mark. First I said, who cares about Allegra? And someone's like, I hate when Betty says that because someone cares. And you're right. And I don't argue against that this character is for somebody out there. But Allegra on the Flash show is just like, ooh, I'll say it again. Anybody who's watching the Flash wants the Flash and the Flash family. And Allegra's so ancillary, it doesn't even matter. And also, apparently, she made 2 appearances in the comics. And the showrunner created her. So the excuse of her having a centralized episode by the comments was, well, I'm sure he just wanted to see her in action. Also not an excuse to derail the Flash show. And here's an example. And this is where we're coming back to Mark in a minute. But I got to create a DC superhero at one point in one of the Lego games. Legitimately made one. They flew me out to the WB headquarters and they said, make a character that will go into the character creation as a preset. And this will be a canonized character in the Lego DC world. His name is Red Stabby. I wasn't very original. I was making a Lego character. But So if DC were to say, Benny, you could be the showrunner of Flash season 8, and a guy shows up and goes, my name is Red Stabby, and I give him a centralized episode, is that going to be a reason? Are you all going to be like, oh, I guess we'll take Red Stabby. Benny made him for that Lego DC game so many years ago. It's not a reason to do that.
It's the same people who defend like Bendis for just creating an OC and then pushing them into every book ever. Oh. I mean, that's just a common practice in comic books because of licensing and stuff.
Yeah.
Everyone wants their big Miss Marvel paycheck, but I don't know. It's definitely like I get it that like Allegra I understand because that's a character that's more diverse than characters generally are, and maybe there wasn't someone who was part of the Flash family that filled that role. There probably is, but I don't know. It's very possible there wasn't. But Mark, like a chiseled white dude.
And that's where I'm getting back to. Because you said, they're probably just asserting it. Well, Allegra was made in the comics. I bet you Mark is. Let me do a quick search on this character. Flash CW Mark. Oh, it came up Mark Hamill. Hold on. That's how generic it is. Mark Bartender. Hey, that worked. Mark Blaine is his name. Chillblade. Let's see. I'm going to look up Chillblade DC Comics, and we're going to...
that's okay. Is he Chillblade? I've heard that before.
He's Chillblade, yes.
Okay.
He is a guy who has 3 appearances.
Yeah, that checks out.
Yeah.
I mean, sure. But, like, okay, fair enough. They didn't create him out of thin air. But... I don't care if they didn't. He's uninteresting.
But that was my argument with Allegra. Like, I get like somebody out there wants Allegra, and that's fine, but I'm allowed to have an opinion, and when I'm watching The Flash, I want Flash and the Flash family. Speaking of the Flash family, where was Candace Patton this whole episode?
Yeah, why did they decide... Did she just like give them no notice? Why did they decide to make the episode that they might be pregnant in the one that she's on vacation for? Like, that just seems like a scheduling error.
That does, and then to have her only communicate to Barry through the phone and not even have her phone in some lines. No. Like, I was waiting for her to talk. It was so awkward. It was just like, yeah, no, I know. Yeah, you're busy. I know. Cool. All right. And I'm just like, the first time, okay, she'll pop up later, but when he's doing it like the 4th time, and he makes like 4 or 5 comments, like, well, thank God Iris isn't here. Iris is safe. Thank God Iris isn't around. And I'm just like, all you're doing is reminding me Candace Patton took the day off. What are you doing?
Maybe she actually was sick. Maybe she got COVID or something.
And they just had to keep going?
Yeah, they had to push her away, because she was barely in the previous episode as well. So, I don't know. Yeah. Very strange.
It was a weird decision to go that route. The Barry Allen, at first I was a little like, oh, we're doing family cringe again. But I enjoyed the little moments of him trying to figure out how to get the pregnancy test done without, Iris even being around.
Yeah. I actually, you and Dan seem pretty annoyed by all of the baby stuff. It doesn't bother me. I know it's the direction this show is going now. So
I just think it annoys me just because they've so heavy-handedly gone in this direction. Like, we literally went from like and I think it wouldn't be as obvious to the point of bothering me if we didn't have 4 episodes of grown adults calling each other mom, dad, brother, sis. And then we go from that to we want to have a baby, and it's just like, oh my God, just stop, Because like, I like the Nora thing. Nora showing up.
That didn't happen. I don't remember those episodes.
Because I liked the Nora scene where she showed up and she's like, Dad, I'm back. And I was like, it's a little awkward because they're the same age, but I'll take it because this is the actual daughter from the actual future. So we'll take it. And then he wakes up and I was like, oh, that's when I hit you up. I'm like, we're doing that again, only to have us not do that stuff again. So
yeah. But I want to see. So I've written down all the plots that are happening right now.
Okay.
I want to see if you can name all of them. Yeah.
Killer Frost and Chillblade's relationship.
Mm-hmm.
The cousins, Chillblade and Killer Frost. Are we counting Chester's insecurities? Is that a plot point?
I do have something to do with Chester on here, but
is there something else? Because that's the only thing I can remember with Chester.
So last episode they started this plot line that Chester and Allegra are gonna date, So that's another thing that we have to remember.
Okay. We have Iris and Barry having a kid.
Yep.
We have the future kids coming back again. We have Godspeed, which we haven't even touched on yet, and I actually loved how they fixed Godspeed, in my opinion. They did a good job of fixing that.
Okay.
But we have that going on. Not as good as it could be. We have Joe not being a detective and working with the new DA and working with all that, like the whole Joe and multiple plot points Joe has right now.
The Kramer stuff.
Yeah. We have Cecile. She doesn't have a plot right now, I don't think. I think
she's kind of wrapped up. She's just kind of her own thing now.
Yeah, okay. I'm not crazy on that one. Caitlin and Killer Frost, that's another plot because they're still... Oh, no, they kind of wrapped that up. They're separate.
I think they're done.
Yeah, they're separate and we're going to stay there now. You know, everyone's even referring to them as sisters now. Chillplane being like, what's up with your sister? I'm just like, okay, bro. Come on, Chad.
Oh, no.
He's going to be my new guy I make fun of. I'm just saying it right now. If
That's
Mark
fair.
Chillplane sticks around, he's my new guy. I'm going to just be like, why is Mark here? Who cares about chiseled ab white guy? Like, that's what I'm going to... You're going to hear it. Everyone's like, oh, Betty's only saying it because Allegra's the Spanish speaking. No, I'll say it about Chillplane. Get rid of him. Why is he here? If you're a fan of Chillblade and you have been looking forward to the blonde-haired, chiseled ab protagonist side plot, let me know in the comments down below because I will eat my words and be like, nope, I guess someone cares about Chad.
There's a guy somewhere on his computer right now who just put down his 20-pound weight that he was lifting and picked up his keyboard.
Like my point establishes to any sub B plot character, Chad is now in that lumped area. That's it. I'm calling him Chad, and you know how my memory works.
Chad Blaine.
I will never remember his name is Mark. It will be Chad Chillblade.
That's fair. You remembered Chester's name so that you could forget Mark's name.
Chester's interesting. So far,
That's true,
Chad
he
is
is.
not. When Chad gave his speech to Killer Frost, like, oh, everyone gets a second chance, but not me. I'm just like, go away, Chad. Like,
Yeah, he does not deserve that at all.
No.
I do not care about that character in any way.
oh my God, he's such a weird addition. And he's got the same power set as Killer Frost, so it's not even like, oh, he's this guy that can do these other things, you know?
No.
We have the same power set.
They just wanted to give Frost a love interest and I guess play with her morality in some way, but like, they already did that for like an entire season.
Yeah.
So I don't
know. We'll see where Chad goes with the story, but
Sure.
So far Chad Chillblane is just going to be my meme guy to just mock at this point. Allegra, you are now off the hook.
Great. You said earlier that you think they fixed Godspeed in this episode. I sort of disagree, but I want to
Made
hear
him
more.
better, but okay, so the problem with Godspeed is he showed up and they pretty much did nothing with him, made him super weak, and just kind of wasted the opportunity of, you know, the more recent Reverse Flash analog. Right. This one, because they made it so that the clones couldn't even talk. Well, this time we discovered that was a separate language for them, so they were just communicating.
I think we knew that before.
No, I don't remember them saying, like, they were just like, we don't know what they're saying. They're not saying anything, is what I think was stated before.
Well, that's a pretty big leap that they made in this episode. Then, if that is the case,
I remember when they pinned down the last clone, like when they just randomly put Godspeed clones in for a random reason in one of the episodes, and Barry got him, and they shrieked. I remember the lines being along the lines of, they're not saying anything. He's doing the same thing the other ones did. Mm-hmm. So to then now it be a language, I think is a huge fix for Godspeed because you're adding intelligence back to the character. Even if this is just dumb clones, you're adding something back as opposed to just being clones that don't talk. They also had a whole plan and a whole like plot where they were trying to mess with Barry, and we had some really cool speedster battles and stuff like that, which I thought was really interesting. At least from a CG battle point of view. You know what I mean? Like, we actually get to see Flash fights, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that's where I think they fixed it. And then to not just end it right here, but to start what is apparently a Godspeed Civil War. I'm kind of curious where that's going to go. So, I mean, they could easily ruin it next episode. So,
yeah,
it's the Flash.
I don't know. I've been confused on the inclusion of Godspeed into this show for a long time. I really think he should have just stayed an evil speedster from the future and not come to the present at all. Just it still would have made him kind of a waste in the show just because he is such a fun character in the comics.
Yeah, he is. He has a lot more connection to Barry. I think that's the biggest waste. He's not connected to Barry at all.
Right. Like, if you did Godspeed right,
he's Chad Speed. He's a blonde guy from the future. He's Chad Speed.
But Godspeed could have been this show's like Prometheus from like Arrow's whole season where they had Prometheus. Like, that was a really fun villain and was probably one of Arrow's best villains in its like Moonlight seasons, but they just kind of made him like a throwaway villain, and now there's like 12 of them. Yeah, and it's just, I don't know.
I do agree. They could make him a hell of a lot better. I said that they fixed him a little. They did him better. He's more interesting now, but he's not where he should be. You're right. He could be a whole villain for a whole season.
Yeah. It's strange to me. Like, I feel like I would have preferred some kind of like speedster robot. Like, some guy has made like a bunch of speedster, or just like robots that are infused with Velocity X or whatever, and they just go real fast.
I'm surprised they haven't given us like a version of a Mazo. Like, you could easily just do that.
We had a Mazo. We had a Mazo in Elseworlds.
Yeah, but it's not the same. You know, I mean, they could have used him a lot
It was a
better.
robot that copied their powers. I don't... What else do you want?
They could fight them more. I don't know.
You just want more Mazo.
I just wanted more Mazo, yeah.
That's fair. I'm interested to see where they go with this. There's
only two episodes left, isn't there? Or 3?
Yeah, there's not a whole lot left. And it's concerning to me just because are they trying to set up next season? Because I know the next seasons are coming out relatively soon, I think. Like, I don't think they're skipping much of a beat. At least, like, Legends of Tomorrow isn't. Like, season 7 of Legends is happening in October. So they're only taking, like, a couple months off.
Get things lined back up to where it should be.
Right. So, I don't know. I don't know where this show is going. At least we have some semblance of, like, a forward-moving plot now after a couple episodes of just bottle episodes, basically.
Yeah. Which were weird decisions on an 18-episode season.
Yeah.
Maybe it was COVID restrictions. They were like, oh, we'll just do centralized episodes to knock these out. I just don't know why the Flash was removed from them. Like,
right. I think it was definitely some kind of scheduling error or just a bad decision. Because I understand, like, the need to make an entire episode dedicated to a character that people aren't really liking. Like, Legends does that all the time. Or a character that hasn't had a lot of screen time yet, they'll dedicate an episode to just to really get the audience adapted to it. But
Legends is like built on the idea that we're a full team.
Right.
And the Flash is, and this is what I said to a lot of our commenters before, it's Flash. It's not Flash and Family. It's not Flash and Friends. It's Flash. It's not even Flash Team. It's Flash. So you would assume Flash and his direct people.
I will argue on their side. The show has been about the Flash team. It's been about Star Labs and the team for a long time now. Like, even though it's still called The Flash, like, it's clearly about the Flash and everyone around him. And like it or not, like, there are characters that, like, Allegra is part of Team Flash now. And Cecile also is part of Team Flash now.
Because I'm pretty sure she's a part of the reporter side. It's like a different,
but that's
different
part
entity.
of Team Flash. Listen, Iris is the Flash, so her team is part of Team Flash.
That's my entire argument with Allegra. She's not actually, like, when she comes to Star Labs, she's bringing stuff to Iris and then leaves.
Well,
she doesn't go hang out with Chester like, oh, let's watch the Flash run around.
This is how you become part of Team Flash is A, you get powers, and B, you learn that Barry Allen is the Flash, and then the writers say, yes, you are part of Team Flash.
And you're here. You go to Star Labs with everyone else.
You will get your own episode at some point that people may or may not like. And to be fair, the Cecile episode was fun.
That's
like,
true.
The Allegra episode was a dud, but like I don't think that was the fault of the Allegra character so much as they fumbled it. They like didn't.
I don't remember this, but did they
resolve?
Did they resolve Allegra? Because I'm pretty sure they were trying to fix the sister's voice this time, or the cousin's voice. But I don't remember resolving. I don't think they resolved that.
I don't remember if Caitlin like finished the surgery. No, they did because Cecile did some mojo and like calmed her down.
Oh, right. I can do the empath thing now. I love how she.
Right.
Oh, I can relay emotions now. Like the way she said that was just, I was like, yeah, you tell them.
I'm pretty cool now.
Yeah, I got all these new powers. Look what I can do. That's what I was thinking when she did that. But I don't think we saw if the surgery was a success, though. I think it got through, and that was all we got.
Yeah, the complications stopped, but yeah, I don't think because she definitely didn't like get up and like leave or anything. So
yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I was trying to remember. What was the cliffhanger? Because I remember there was a cool cliffhanger.
Oh yeah, it was Kramer and Joe's car blew up with them maybe in it or not.
Oh, they're definitely not in it. Like if you think that they're in it, you're dumb.
Yeah, that's what when I saw that I was like, okay, and then the credits rolled and I turned it off. Yeah, I was like, they're not dead.
There's no way that's how they're gonna wrap up the Kramer Joe plot. Like,
yeah, I mean, there's no way that's how they write Joe West off of the show. One of the few remaining good characters.
Yeah, how did we get rid of him? Oh, we blew up his car in the middle of the investigation. So it's not like the investigation was resolved. Like,
no. So I don't know where that's going. I don't care. I don't care about the Kramer character.
Yeah, I don't care about her at all.
There's just too much. Like, there's too much going on in the show. The reason I wanted to bring up like how many plots.
There's way too many. I agree.
There's too much.
And I've noticed the episodes we like are the ones that are focused on Flash or like one thing. Even Cecile's plot, it was just Cecile. We're not doing all these other plots.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and that's like, and it's tough, right? Because the Allegra episode, last week's episode, was focused on just that one thing for the most part. It had a little bit about Frost, but it just wasn't interesting. Like sometimes
it's almost
you
like
get
they're
focused
scared.
and it doesn't work.
It's like they're scared to do a focused episode for fear of it becoming an Allegra episode where most of the community, yes, there's people that liked it. I'm not going to deny that. But a majority of the community disliked it. And so they're like, well, if we put a bunch of plots in, people do what we did today. We're like, well, that part was good, but that part was bad. You know, Chad Chilblain we're making fun of, but we're sitting here like Flash and Godspeed was okay. You know, like, and maybe that's why they put so many plots in. So if there is a dud in there, it gets lost in all the other stuff.
I think the reason they're doing it, and they've been doing this for a while, is they've had a lot of stuff going on. It's just, before it worked, because once Arrow stopped being the main show, the Flash had to step up and like become really interesting and expand their cast and like add all these things in. That's what they thought they needed to do. They didn't. But now they're at a point where they're still doing that. They're going by that mantra, but not all of it is working anymore. Like everyone's kind of come to a point where they just kind of are forcing the characters into situations that aren't super interesting. And the main problem to me is none of them tie together. They're all separate. Like there's like 6 different shows happening in this one show right now.
There is.
Like something that Superman and Lois has done really well is, even when it was bad at the beginning, at least the like 3 different subplots that were happening, you could clearly see where all of them were going to connect, and eventually they did. So, like, but in The Flash, it's like nothing. It's like 7 different things.
Yeah. That's what I like about Superman and Lois, because it's mostly about Superman and Lois and Lex. It's what's going on. Also, that also reminds me of something else. Why did Killer Frost make friends with Chilblain and immediately bring him to Star Labs? Hey, come to my secret hideout.
They actually did write a thing in it, because her first thought was to take him to a hospital, and he kept saying, I can't go there because they hate me. And she listed off like 4 different hospitals, and he was like, no, none of those will work. And then she was like, okay, fine, I'll take you to Star Labs.
Okay, all right. I was just thinking about that, just like, why was Chilblain there? Chad's like,
because he needed to be. They have to be close. They're going to fall in love, and then he's going to kill her. Oh, no.
No, just the way you did that. I was just waiting for like a follow-up. You're just like, oh, no.
Nope.
It's like, oh, okay, that's where we're ending that moment.
That's my I don't care about that plot line. Move on.
That's what threw me out, though, because I was just like, oh, he's going to talk for a bit. Let me just jump over here because I got someone who wants to hit me up. Hey, I'll be back in a second. You know what I mean? And then you're like, oh, no. I'm like, oh. Anyway, thanks for watching today's review of Absolutely Marvel and DC's review of Flash, Season 7, Episode 15. What did you guys think of it down below? What do you think about how they're handling Godspeed and Nora, who's a dream thing now? Woo! We didn't even talk about that, but not much to say.
Just a dream.
Yep. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for supporting the show and sticking around, and we'll see you next time right here at Absolutely Marvel in DC.